Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to join with Hannah with her fantastic film, Golden Child. Let's take a look at the clip.
Left one is sticking out a little bit.
What?
Your left breast.
Craig and Courtney's son, little Alex. He used to pee on me when we were kids.
Your dad thinks about it all the time. He's so worried that the pee thing fucked you up.
What?
You two were children, and kids explore. That's what they do. Maybe this was a development of a fetish.
Thanks for the feedback.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the NewFilmmakers LA family.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing your wildly brilliant film to us. Really, really fantastic. For those that haven't seen it, tell us about the story.
So Golden Child is about a young woman who goes to a pool party and is reunited with a childhood friend that used to pee on her when they were kids, and then sort of how that all gets unpacked.
It's a synopsis that you're very curious about and you have to watch, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
You know, Hannah, it's a brilliant story. Like,
Thanks.
it's a really, really brilliant story, and you're such a great actor as well.
Oh,
It
gosh,
was
thanks.
amazing. You know, dare I ask this question, but where did this inspiration for this story begin?
Yeah, I think at the time I wrote it, there were just so many different things going through my head.
Mm-hmm.
I kept thinking of this like back image and this kind of idea of like when our bodies aren't our own in some way. So it turned into like Lulu's back, and as like a point of discussion. And I also was just really interested in the idea of something that I have seen over and over again, and a lot of people experience, is like, what does it mean to be around the person who assaulted you your whole life and be stuck with them? And I'm a comedy writer, and I do comedy, so I'm always gonna have a kind of humorous take on it. So then it turned into, you know, how could I construct something that kind of moves from this funny thing to darker, and what is, because I think that's the process of when you're unpacking something that happened to you too. It can be kind of light, and then you're like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
So all those things were kind of mixed in a stew and in my brain, and then it just was purged.
But I mean, goodness me, you're so multi-talented, because it was so wonderfully written as well. Like, it really was.
Thanks.
And I was like, I was in it, and I love all of the awkward moments that you left us in, you know, just with everything. And I'm just like, oh no, I'm like cringing. I've got goosebumps on my. But no, and I felt so much for your character, because I think, again, like taking it from your take as well of just, you know, obviously you've got a comedic background, you know, you're great as a comedy actress as well, but like taking that and then taking it the concept that's like, hang on a minute, should I be laughing? This is really dark. Like, oh no, like, you know, and then I felt bad for myself. I was like, oh my goodness. But I think just mixing that together was a really unique take. And, you know, even just the fact we probably talk more about our childhood traumas more in the last 20, 25 years than ever before, right?
Totally.
As
that was
well.
a huge thing. Well, first of all, thank you. I'm so glad it made you feel awkward, because that's my favorite kind of comedy. And I like using comedy and humor as a source of discomfort a little bit too, the way like a Nathan Fielder would, or my favorite show ever is The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow. It's very much about putting women in spaces that kind of make people uncomfortable, because I think usually women are made to make people feel comfortable. So I'm excited. I'm glad that was your reaction. But also, I think that was something I was really toying around with when I was making this too, was with Lulu. There is so much of talking about childhood trauma now, and when you're dealing with that conversation intergenerationally, I wanted to just lay it out for the audience to be like, how are you digesting what's happening, and not, because I think it's very easy for it to be like, oh, you know, these snowflakey kids, that kind of thing. You know, are there moments where she's melodramatic? Are there moments where it's like you actually are aligned with her? Where does your sympathy lie in this whole conversation?
Yeah. Oh, I was rooting for you the whole time, your character. Like, my goodness. Like, it actually was like a really, I mean, goodness me, it's a horrible situation. Obviously, you alluded to it in the film, but like, just the most invigorating comeback. It was just like, you know, really, really great to see just the character just like, no, actually, I'm on my terms now. This is my turn. You know what I mean? In a really great way. What was it like being in, you know, you wrote this, you're behind camera, you're in front of camera. How was that experience for you?
It was insane. Like, I always wanted to do this. Like, I feel like I just kind of crafted my own, like, it really was in a place of like, you know what? I'm going to do it, because why not? Now or never. I won't live with the regret of having not tried.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It's crazy. And everyone is like, that's insane. Why do you need to do all three things?
Yeah.
I write things sometimes where it's like I don't necessarily want to be in them. There are times I write things where I definitely do, and direct, and this is something I felt I wanted to express from like every angle, and I really knew what I wanted to do. But it's so, I would say, like, moving in between all of those things, I could not have done it without such an amazing crew and cast. Like, I am so grateful to everyone that worked on it, because they were so supportive and really were in on the vision of what I wanted to do. And I had like two incredible people that helped behind the monitor when I was in a scene, and I was able to run back to them and like really talk about what they were seeing with my friends and their producers, like Gracie and Mecca. And then I just really was able to have those very open dialogues with everyone. And the cast too is
your cast are amazing.
So great. Yeah.
I mean, I loved I mean, everybody, what's so nice the way you wrote it as well, everybody had a very distinctive character, which was really great, and especially, you know, well done, because it's in a short film as well, so you've got to really, but you had some great actors, and everyone got like really good moments. I mean, I love the relationship between you and the boyfriend. I mean, it was so funny. How was it for you being in, and then bringing your cast together?
I was really because I care about like the integrity of comedy so much. I really wanted, at least for, you know, the parent characters, like I really wanted people that have a really strong comedy background, and Seth Morris and Jillian Bigman, who play the mom and dad, are so funny. Like, I have watched them forever, and they're such incredible improvisers. So I knew that in the moments when I was like worrying about camera and also my performance and also their like everything, like they could also just improvise a funny line if that, you know, behooved them. If they, you know, there was a very open space for that, which was really cool. And I think, I don't know, that was such a gratifying part, was to be able to, you know, work with them in that way.
Good people, exactly.
And then for everyone else, like, Sachin was he's just such a great actor, and I think our chemistry was really good in it, because we kind of like have a world of our own in the film. So that was so important. And I went to college with Babe Howard, so that's how I knew him. For little Alex, and I just hit him up and I was like, hey, do you want to get peed on? How do you feel about that?
You know what I love that you, as a writer as well, like Hannah, is just that you got those little innuendos, particularly, you know, even just from like, you know, hey, why are you dressed like that? Okay, why are you being misogynist, kind of thing? Like, you know what I mean? Those little misogynistic, those little microaggressions that particularly women have to face, and especially with trauma as well in that context. And you just got all those right clips, because this is actually, unfortunately, the experience of what it's like in a lot of people's cases. Was that kind of something that in your comedy, like in your darkness comedy, but you're also pushing in like, haha, funny as it is, this is kind of like what happens too?
I think that, I mean, especially like the opening scene and stuff, she goes from putting this bathing suit on where she's like trying to feel really good, and then immediately just gets knocked down, being like, your boobs hanging out, essentially.
Like, shut up. You know what I mean? I'm like telling them shut up to the screen.
But it is like, this like layer of misogyny of like, it could be your fault if you are dressed too provocatively or something, but I think that's also really real, like this, you know, constant monitoring of each other. And, I wanted it to feel, it's like, I wanted it to feel real, and I think that is unfortunately what real is.
But it's cringy, but has elements of truth, of experience, you know what I mean? Which is again your goodness, your greatness of awkward comedy as well.
Thank you.
Kind of what I really just loved as well is that, what is this, I mean, goodness me, what has the experience been like for you, Hannah? Because your film, you know, you can't help but have a reaction to it, right? So what has the experience been like taking this on the road? How has that been for you?
It's been like amazing. This is my first film. When I made it, like I could only have dreamt of like how well it was received, and we've played at a lot of festivals, and being able to sit in a theater with people that are so reactive and enjoying it and resonating with it is like, that's all kind of you can ask for, is to have it be impactful, and especially having young women say after screenings or just hearing like how the story felt so real to them too, and they felt seen in some way. I really like, that's incredible to me. It's been very great, and it's my favorite thing ever to make things with my friends and to collaborate with people. So it makes me so excited for the next things that are to come too.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, again, like, I love these characters that were created. I wasn't done with them. I was like, no, I like these characters. Like, does it have to be a short film? So like, what's next in the developments? Is there any extensions to anything? Like, what's going on? Because what's your next projects?
I'm working on the feature version of this, because there is a lot more to explore, I think, thematically, and especially in the time we're in, we kind of, being around someone that assaulted you is sort of a metaphor for what this great nation is. So.
Not to mention there's part of the story that's really resonates to truth as well. So absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm working on that. I'm also working on like writing some TV stuff that I would like to hopefully develop, and I want to make a new short very soon too. So I always have 500 irons in the fire. I try to, but I really am excited about like the feature version of this too, and what it can turn into.
I mean, I'm ready for it. Like, I'm ready for it, and also just because it's so great when you bring these characters to life, and like you're left wanting more as well. And there's so much more to the story we can see. So just well done, Hannah. Like, thanks. Well done, your first film as well. And are you going to be in it as well in the feature version? You decided?
God willing.
You better be, right?
I need to. I would love to be. Yes,
you should be in your own film.
Yes, of course. I'm not gonna fire myself.
Don't ever fire yourself.
I won't.
Don't ever fire yourself.
Yeah, I definitely want to, and I love playing that character.
You are that character. That's you.
Yeah. So I definitely would want to write, direct, and act in the feature version too. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you did a fantastic job.
Thanks.
I'm so ready for the feature. Congratulations and welcome to New Filmmakers Los family.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to more of your projects.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hannah, everybody.
Thanks. Thank you.